Islam. Sorry, y'all. Another late one. I apologize. I was having so much enjoyment, good time with the clan. You might hear them in the background, so forgive me for that. But yeah, we're gonna get into this real quick. Today is Saturday, Saturn Day, July Saturday, right? The 14th. Every Saturday is gonna line up with a multiple of the number 7 because the days are in alignment with the days of the month, right? So today is the 14th. 14 is a karmic number, karmic debt number, right? Because you have karmic lessons, right? And those are numbers that do not appear in your name. And those are the lessons that you have to learn in this lifetime, right? But karmic debt refers to, karmic energy that you have created, negative karmic energy that you have created that you need to correct in this lifetime, right? So that may or may not be in your numerology chart. You would have to consult me to find out, right? But today is 14, 14-5. The 14-5 represents, the abuse of basically planning, right? Stubbornness, right? Because the number, let me explain it. The number 1 represents selfishness or abuse, right? And the number that comes after it represents what is being used, right? What is being abused, right? What you're being selfish in, right? Not all teens are karmic numbers. It's only a couple. It's only 10, but that's a good karmic number, right? That means that your karmic energy has been released, right? And you're here to basically revel in the freedom of your karmic, your karmic renewal, right? That means you got it right the last lifetime, right? You corrected your karmic debt. So in the tarot deck, that would be card number 10 would be the Wheel of Fortune, right? So it kind of gives you an idea what 10 is. Well, at the same rate, 10 comes out to be 1. So if you're selfish, period, right, instead of just being a leader, then you're going to create more karmic debt in this lifetime that you're going to have to correct in the next lifetime. So it depends on how you use your newfound freedom and leadership abilities, right? So you have 10, you have 13, 14, 16, and then 19. Those are the only karmic debt numbers, right? So you have 10, 13, 14, 16, and then 19. So you only have 5 karmic debt numbers, and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. And as you probably can notice, 19 equals 10 and then 1, because 19 is 1 plus 9 equals 10, 10 equals 1. So what happens is when you have a 19, you're dealing with 3 types of energies, but we're just going to deal with the 14 for now because that's today. 14 is a karmic abuse of planning, hard work, and stubbornness, right? Since the 4 represents the Taurian energy, right, there's an abuse of Taurian faculties, which are the senses, right? It's an abuse of materialism, right? You are too closed off in your materialistic pursuits of the last life. Too closed off, right? So in a karmic number, the number that's reduced represents how you correct the karmic debt, right? So you have 14, it reduces to 5. 5 is the number of freedom, right? Freedom, change, rebellion, new ideas, right? New thought forms, right? And it correlates to the sign of Gemini, a mutable sign, a very free sign, right? So the way to correct it is communication with others, to be more free in your communication with others because you were too limited and you were too cut off from others for your materialistic pursuits, right? You let your planning, hard work, and stability get in the way of connecting with others, right? So this would be like a rich snob or somebody like that, right? So now in this lifetime, not saying you're going to be poor or what have you, but in this lifetime, the way to correct that would be to socialize with more people or to gain more information, to not be so materialistic, to be more mental, right? To be more mental in your faculties. I mean, to use your mental faculties, right? And be more affluent in those, right? Communicate with people, excuse me, get ideas, get out there, right? So now today is Saturn day, Saturn, right? Saturn is the planet of restriction, discipline, and structure, right? So Saturn is in Capricorn right now, as you know, it's retrograde, so it's giving everybody a chance to, get their self together, right, as far as responsibilities are concerned, because once it goes direct again, Saturn is going to be very limiting and harsh in its influence, right? Especially because it's in its own sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of acquisition, meaning acquiring things, and accomplishment, meaning accomplishing goals. Now it's material, so there have to be some assets, right? There have to be some assets behind there, and there have to be some actual physical, material goals that are accomplished that you can look back and say, oh, wow, I got that, So this is the time of accomplishing things such as gaining assets of cars, houses, money, resources, to make more money, to get more cars, more houses, right? To move up the structured ladder, not so much the social ladder, but the structure ladder, meaning what are you achieving in your life, right? So now you have the 14-5 energy of karmic debt, right? Of actually moving to acquire these things, right? But now you have the 14-5 energy that also warns, hey, don't get caught up in all of that. Remember to treat people as people and to socialize with everybody, right? To not be closed-minded, to not be closed off, to not get caught up in your accomplishments. That's today's lesson, right? And it'll make I'm gonna make this quick so that I could get on with enjoying the clan. I don't use the word family anymore because that's house servants and house slaves, and we're not house servants and house slaves, right? With blood relatives, you use that. Clan, I like that, so I use that. So I hope everyone out there is enjoying their time with their clan on this Sabbath day. And peace and love.